I'm Jim McCarty. I'm a chiropractor. I'm here in the United States. I was doing some construction work, and a gentleman saw me, and he said, we were on break, he said, I've been watching you all week. You're a hard worker. What's your name? Tell me about yourself. What do you like to do? And I said, well, I like to read, and I like to do all sorts of outdoor things. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I like to do all sorts of things outdoors, hiking, camping, and I like to read. He said, what do you like to read? And I said, mostly mysteries and books on natural methods of healing. And he said, natural methods of healing, that's interesting. Have you ever thought of being a chiropractor? And I said, what's a chiropractor? And he told me, well, there are doctors that use natural methods. They work with their hands to work on muscles, bones, and nerves to help people avoid drugs and surgery. And I thought, that sounds pretty much like me. I'm good with my hands. I'm interested in natural methods. I'm interested in avoiding drugs and surgery. I had a special interest in learning about headaches because my stepmother had headaches. So I was interested in helping get rid of headaches. And that included learning some work using my hands to work on the skull bones. And in Europe, all the doctors, the medical doctors, the chiropractors, osteopathic doctors, they're all taught that the bones of the skull move your entire life. All of the medical books in Europe pretty much state that the skull bones move your whole life, but in the UK and in America, our textbooks say that they fuse at age 19 or 20. But I didn't know anybody that did it, and they did not teach it at our school. And because we didn't have any teachers who were trained in that. So I read the article. She said, if I left you a copy of the article, would you read it? And I said, sure. So she said, it's in the car, I'll go get it. She brought it in. After she left, I read it. It sounded too good to be true. So I reread it that night, and I drew a line down the middle of the page. And on the left side, I put all the conditions that I thought I could understand how this balloon up the nose moving the skull plates could get rid of or help sinus problems, or maybe could get rid of the pressure for headaches, or help people to breathe better, get more oxygen to their brain. So I put all that on the left, and on the right, I wrote down the things that said it would help that I couldn't see how they were connected. And I said, if more than half are on the believable side, I'm going to go learn the treatment. But if more than half are on the unbelievable side, I'm going to throw this in the trash and I'll never look at it again. But the fact that she told me that he had a year waiting list, I said, he's got to be treating a lot of people and got to be helping a lot of people. So 2/3 of the items ended up on the believable side. I called him the next day, said, when you going to teach? And that was in '96. The medical doctors have their curriculum that they have to go through in order to graduate. And chiropractors and osteopaths have their curriculum that they have to go through. And as a chiropractor, we get more course hours in anatomy than the regular medical doctor does, because we're working with our hands. We have to know the muscles, the bones, the nerves, the origin and the insertion of all the muscles. And anyway, there's just a whole lot more, since we're dealing with the physical body manually and we're not prescribing drugs. We have to be able to help. So we have to take more hours in anatomy. We have to take more hours in physiology. We have to take more hours in nutrition. As a medical doctor, there is one course in nutrition, and it's optional. We learn about the nutrition. You asked a question about TMJ. The dentist most people would think of TMJ as being a dental problem, at least here in America. They would say, well, TMJ is temporomandibular joint. Right there where your lower jaw connects to the skull, right in front of the ear. This is your temporal bone up here that the ear is connected to. And then the mandible, okay, so you got your mandibular joint, TMJ. So the TMJ is when it pops and clicks, or you open your mouth and it deviates off to one side, or it makes like an S. It'll pop, it'll click, it'll be painful. It can cause ear problems. It can tie in with the ringing in the ears, the tinnitus. And so most of the people, because it deals with the jaw, think that that's a dental problem. I thought it was a dental problem. Okay? So the typical dentist does not want to deal with TMJ because they don't have a way of really fixing it. They have a way of trying to manage it, just like diabetes. They don't know how to fix or cure diabetes, so they say, well, we're going to manage your condition.